Hello, my stamping friends. My name is Rachel Trout, and I come to you every week with a fun card making class. Usually, I am live on Thursday afternoons, but this week we are live a day early on Wednesday. And part of the reason for that is because Sale-a-bration is ending on Friday, and I wanted to give you an extra day to shop and get this week's card kit and earn your Sale-a-bration rewards. So I hope you can take advantage of that. We're going to be making 3 cards with the Darling Dinos Bundle today. And I also worked in a number of Sale-a-bration products just to show them to you one more time and use them again before they are gone forever. Friday is coming soon. Sale-a-bration always seems like it's so long until we get to the end, and then it's like, how is it over already? So after Friday, you're going to go back to shopping and not getting those freebies when you shop, which is kind of sad. But it has been a lot of fun while it has lasted. The choices this year were amazing. If you are joining live or later, let me know in the comments what your favorite Sale-a-bration products were this year. We are going to be using some of mine today, so I will share that when we flip the camera down. The other reason I am live on Wednesday instead of Thursday this week, I kind of told you this last week, but my family is not too excited about me doing this as a business. And so I try to do a lot of my work when they are not home. And I am always working on finding a good balance of that. I'm a workaholic by nature. I used to be a teacher before I was married and had kids, and I worked all the time. And I liked it. I like to work. I like to be busy. But balance is definitely something I always am working on. So anyways, my husband goes into the office on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And this is also his office. So he works in here from home the rest of the week. And he has a new coworker that is starting today. And in between the time when they hired her and when she started today, she had some type of a horse accident, I think. And she ended up having surgery on her foot or her leg or something. Anyways, their office is not very conducive to her recovery. So he said she's probably going to wind up working from home for the first couple of weeks. I don't know. And he is going to try and use that as leverage with his boss so he can work from home all week while she is not in the office too. My husband will take any excuse to work from home and not have to go in. So there's a chance he might be here tomorrow, and I didn't want to miss out on doing a live video this week. So I thought I'll do it on Wednesday, and then we'll be safe. Even if he works at home tomorrow, I will still get my video in. But I don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks if he is going to be working from home. So just keep watching my page, and I will let you know when and if I will be live next week, or what's going to happen with that. And the tricky part of that is that my kids' spring break is coming up in the middle of March, and my in-laws are going to be here for about 2 weeks. So I was going to use these next few weeks to film a few videos ahead of time too. So we will see what happens with that. But today I'm here. We have some fun cards. I think I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to get started. So I don't know about you, but the Darling Dinos Bundle, let me find my button here to flip it. The Darling Dinos Bundle was one of my top picks right away in this catalog. I am always drawn to the cutesy animal stamp sets, and I love this one. And I see that we have at least one person watching. Hello, Laura. Thank you for joining me today. If you are joining later, make sure you say hi too. I always draw winners from everyone who comments to send the cards to. And I am not quite caught up, but I did send out the cards from last week already. And I had the addresses of all the winners that I chose. So it's a surprise. Some of you that commented last week will be getting some happy mail from me soon. So I love when you interact with me, and I love sending my cards out. So it's win-win for everybody. All right, this is the Darling Dinos Bundle. This is one of our Million Sales Achiever stamp sets. It was, well, when someone in Stampin' Up reaches their $1 million sales milestone, they get to help design a stamp set. So this one was designed by Diana Gibbs. She actually lives pretty close to me. I think she's in Queen Creek, which is just down the road. And I shared this fun fact on Monday, but a long time ago, before I was even a demonstrator, I attended one of her workshops at a friend's house. So that is kind of cool. She is super nice, and I love her stamp set. And it's always fun when they put dies with it. So I've been having fun playing with this. We have a couple of really fun cards. I will say the third one, I didn't quite finish, so we're going to finish the design together today. But these are cute, and I have been full of ideas that I just have not gotten out into my cards yet. So some of you know we have quail at our house, and my kids are always asking me if there's a quail stamp set. Well, guess what? There's not. This is not a quail stamp set. But look at this little egg. I think this and our eggs are kind of speckled. So I think I can make a quail egg with the speckles and this egg. And then the little chicks in that, there's a stamp set with a cow. I forget what it's called. But there's little chicks in there. And well, I'm sure they are chicken chicks. I think I'm going to do a quail card. And my kids are going to love it. So hopefully I will get that done this week and share with you, because it's another fun use for the stamp set. Okay, so there's lots of fun little pieces in here to build scenes. I think the sayings are just really cute too. This is one stamp right here, roar means, and then you can put you're the best, or I love you, or happy birthday in dinosaur. And so super, super cute. All right, let's get to our first card. Like I said, we'll make 3 cards today. If you would like the card kit for this week's class, you can shop with me now through Tuesday. So you have through Tuesday to shop, but you only have through Friday to earn Sale-a-bration rewards. So if I were you, I would shop before Friday. You have to spend more than $40 before tax and shipping to get the card kit. And then if you spend more than $50, I will double the cards and you'll get to make 2 of each. And of course, if you spend $60 or more, you start earning Sale-a-bration rewards, which is so much fun. When you get the card kit, you will get envelopes just like this, and all of your pieces will be in there to make your cards. You have to use your own stamps and your own inks, your own embellishments, so you can use whatever embellishments and stamps you want. If you want the ones that I'm using today, these are actually a Sale-a-bration reward. This was my favorite choice this year. These are the purple adhesive back sequins. They are free with a $60 purchase. And they're not all purple, but that's okay. I love them anyways. They're still some of my favorite colors. So we're using those, but you could use any sparkly embellishment that you want. And then for ribbon today, I'm using the gold twisted thread on this card. And then on our other 2 cards, we're using this fresh freesia ribbon. And this is another Sale-a-bration choice that you can get for free with a $60 purchase. I think my favorite thing to do with this ribbon has been to color it. I like fresh freesia, but it's a light color, so you can use our Stampin' Blends markers to make it different colors, which is a lot of fun. We're going to do that on one card today, and then on the second card, we will use it as is. So you can use any ribbon that you want, but those are the ones I'm using. So this card starts with a Melon Mambo card base. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and we'll fold that in half. And then we have some sneak peeks on this card. Next week, some new online exclusive products are coming, and demonstrators get the opportunity to pre-order those. So this embossing folder is brand new. It's called the Mini Corrugated Embossing Folder. And I have embossed a piece of basic white that is 5.25 by 4 with that. And I don't know if there's a right or a wrong way to put this on, so it doesn't really matter. Glue is probably a better choice when you're using a bumpy embossed piece like this, but I'm stubborn and I like to use my Stampin' Seal. If you want to pre-order early like demonstrators, you can add any of our pre-order items to a starter kit right now. And we talked a lot about this last week, but there is a great Sale-a-bration starter kits special right now, and you only have a few days left to take advantage. So that's another option for you. Okay, I am using a piece of the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. This is another Sale-a-bration choice that is free with a $60 purchase. And I'll just show you a little snippet here. I'm sure you've seen this. A few weeks ago when I had to cancel my live, we were going to use this, and it coordinates with a punch and stamp bundle. The Toadstool Gardens, let's see. This is the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. So the bundle is the Terrific Toadstools bundle, I believe. But the colors in this paper are really fun, and I wanted to use them with the dinosaurs and still show you this paper since I didn't get to a few weeks ago. But that is free with a $60 purchase also. I also think that it coordinates really well with the ribbon and the sequins. So, I mean, if you are spending a lot of money, you can get all three. All right. I forgot to bring my measurements in here, but I believe this piece of Designer Series paper is 2 3/4 by 4. The nice thing about using my glass mat is it has measurements on it. Yep, 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. All right, I was off just a little bit. 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then this is another sneak peek. This is a new set of dies called the Textured Notes dies. It is all rectangles with different textures around the edges. And I meant to bring them in here, but I don't think I did. It's part of a Stampin' Die bundle. I ended up just getting the dies because there's none that cut out images in the stamp set. It's all rectangles in different sizes. And I thought those are going to be a great staple in my craft room. So I had to order them. All right, we're going to stamp this dinosaur right onto our rectangle here. And I'm stamping in Memento Black because we are coloring with Stampin' Blends markers today. And let's see, while I have this out, I have another strip of white here. We're going to stamp our balloons. So the balloon is a stamp in the stamp set. And we want 3 balloons, so I will just stamp it 3 times. And then I need 3 strings for my balloons to be connected to. And I just kind of connected it down to his tail. Oops, that was not very neat. We'll try and put the other one right there. Okay. And let's see, maybe something like that. All right, and then our sentiment we're going to do in Melon Mambo ink. Hope your birthday is dynamite, and there is a happy birthday stamp in the stamp set too, so if you wanted to, you could stamp that inside your card. This stamp set is perfect for kids cards, so if you have kids in your life, kids or grandkids, perfect for that. I know lots of kids love dinosaurs. Mine never were really into dinosaurs, but I think these ones are super cute. Okay, so I'm going to start with my Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Blends markers. And I ended up using the pen tip, the narrower tip, quite a bit on these dinosaurs just because there's lots of little areas to get in between. And I'm starting with my dark Flirty Flamingo. And I'm just going to kind of go around his spots here. Or maybe her spots, a pink dinosaur. Probably a girl? I don't know. There probably weren't pink dinosaurs, but in crafting, you can make things any colors that you want, right? It's the beauty of making it yourself. And I like pink, so we're going to have a pink dinosaur. Now, usually I use colors in the Designer Series paper. Flirty Flamingo is not a color that's in the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper, but I wanted a lighter pink to go with the Melon Mambo, and so I landed on Flirty Flamingo. Then I'm going to fill in with my light here. And you can use your brush end if you want. This area is a little bit bigger. But the brush ends on some of my markers are starting to get worn out. So, because I tend to color with the brush end more often than the pen end. But my ink is not all gone yet, so I am using my pen tip. And then when I get new markers, I'll go back to the brush end. So remember our Stampin' Blends markers, whenever you color over it, you're adding another layer of color. So if you want it a little bit darker in some of these areas, I like to color over where the dark and the light overlap, because that helps blend them together, and then it adds another shade of color too. So then you actually get multiple layers of different colors. I don't know how well that shows up on camera. Sometimes when it dries, it looks a little bit different too, but you can kind of see. Okay, and then I think I used the dark Melon Mambo. So I have my Melon Mambo Stampin' Blends here. Now these dinosaurs are small enough that you could probably get away with coloring them with Stampin' Write markers too. And if you remember, part of the starter kit offer for Sale-a-bration is that you get to choose 2 sets of our Stampin' Write markers for free in your starter kit. Plus there's an exclusive stamp set. So you're paying $99. You pick out $125 of product, and you get to pick out what you want. So you could add that corrugated embossing folder. You could add these textured notes, rectangle dies, parts of our pre-order. You could add the Darling Dinos stamp set. You can add whatever you want. You just can't go over $125. So get as close as you can. And then the exclusive stamp set and the 2 sets of Stampin' Write markers are worth $91. Plus there's free shipping, which is even more savings. You get a free pass paper pumpkin kit in there. You get a 20% discount on all of your future orders through at least July. You'll get to be part of our pre-order for the next annual catalog, which will be coming at the end of March. You will get to pre-order, let's see, the next online exclusives will be in May, so I think that pre-order starts at the end of March too. Get to pre-order July online exclusives, and probably maybe see the August or September to December mini catalog too. I'm not sure when we'll get to see that, but lots and lots of perks to buying the starter kit. Okay, so this balloon I colored in Melon Mambo. We're going to do 1 in Fresh Freesia and 1 in Granny Apple Green. And those colors I just picked out of the Designer Series paper. Such a fun color combination. Excuse me. So I'm just starting with the dark and creating kind of more of a shadow on this side, and then filling in with the light. See, here I go. This brush end is nice still. You just have to be a little more careful about going outside the lines. Like sometimes I don't color all the way to the edge with the brush. All right, and we'll finish off with Granny Apple Green. You guys up to anything exciting this week? If you are watching and you are doing something fun this week, let us know. My week, oh, see here, the brush tip is kind of bent up, so I'm going to use the pen tip. My week is busy as always. I mean, you can imagine with 4 kids, there's not really ever a slow week. This afternoon, my daughter has a basketball game, and it's on the other side of Phoenix, so we'll have to leave for that early this afternoon. And the rest of the week, I don't think we have too much going on, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to cut out these balloons. I love when there are dies to help us out with that, although this balloon is not too tricky to cut out, so you could do it pretty easily if you didn't have the dies, but unless you don't have a die cutting machine, why would you not get the dies, right? So the other option for the starter kit is pay $99 and pick out $155 of product, which is $30 more than normal. If you do not have a die cutting machine yet and you're looking at our regular size Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, usually you cannot add it to a starter kit because it's more than the $125. But because there is that option to do $155 during Sale-a-bration, you are able to add it to a starter kit right now if you choose that option instead of the markers and the stamp set. So that's kind of a fun option if you are in the market for a machine, because you can get it for $99 and not pay shipping on it, which is nice. And I'm trying to remember, I think it's $130, I think is the cost of the machine. So then you have a little bit left over to get something else too in your starter kit. So if you have been in the market for a die cutting machine and you want the larger one, the regular size one, that fits all of our dies and our big embossing folders, you can add it to your starter kit with that option. If you just want this mini machine, that can be added anytime, because I'm trying to remember the price of this one. Somewhere around $60, I think. I used to be so good with remembering numbers and names and all that stuff, and my brain just will not work like it used to. I'm going to blame my children, because I have read that children steal your brain cells when you are pregnant with them. So my children have all of my smart brain cells now. Okay, we are going to adhere this down, and let me see. I have all my adhesives over here on the side. So we will layer this to our designer series paper. And then the balloons I'm going to adhere flat, but you can pop one or more of them up with dimensionals if you want to. Let's see. I'm going to put the pink one, the Melon Mambo one here, and then we'll layer the Granny Apple Green and the Fresh Freesia on top. Now, I didn't do a very good job of lining up my strings here, but we'll make it work. I think when I did the first one, I kind of laid them out and decided where I was going to put the strings, but here we go. That works. It works. Okay, this piece we will add to our card with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Hello, Joan. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you are having a great week. Hopefully, this video is going to bring a little bit of happy into your week, because crafting makes everything happy, right? Okay, so there's that. Now for this one, we are using our gold twisted thread, and I'm going to tie a double bow. So I usually will get like a length of thread if I'm using linen thread or twine, and then I double it and cut it in half so that they are the same length, or pretty close anyways. And then we're going to tie our bow. I love this gold twisted thread. This was part of our online exclusive release in November, I think, with the Valentine suite. But gold is so great for lots of things, not just Valentine's Day. I used it at Christmas. It's just a little fancier than, you know, like white baker's twine or linen thread. It's gold, so shiny, and I like the gold twisted thread. Just a tiny little embellishment that's not going to add bulk to your cards. So, okay, you're going to your grandson's basketball game. He has 3 this week. My daughter had 2 this week. She had 1 on Monday. And we thought so if you missed this, she joined the team in the middle of the season. She's played before, but she wasn't sure this year, and then she changed her mind, and they did let her join. And we kind of thought once she got into it, she would get to play a little bit more than she has been. So that's been kind of disappointing, but she's doing well when she's in the game. Her friend, who's the only other girl on the team, and she is like a star. Basketball is totally her thing. She was sick on Monday for their game, so we thought that my daughter would get to play more, and she didn't really. But we'll see what today brings. Some of the kids, their school is so small, and they play co-ed, and some of the boys that are in 5th grade play on both the A team and the B team, and they're only allowed to play 6 quarters. And so on Monday, there was not a B team game, so they could just play the whole game. But today there's a B team game too, so hopefully she will get to play more because it's so fun to watch her play. All right, here is our first card. Yeah, Joan, they do get their feelings hurt when they don't play. We are trying to stay positive for her because, I mean, I kind of get it. She joined halfway through the season, but she is in 7th grade, and these boys are only in 5th grade. And she has played. It's not like she hasn't played with these kids, you know, for the past however many years. So, yeah, we're just trying to stay positive, but you can tell she is a little bummed that she's not playing more. But happy cards. We will focus on the happy. So that's our first one. I'm going to tuck that away to send to somebody next week. So keep commenting, and I will draw a winner from the comments. Okay, here is our second card. What do you guys think of this one? I had to use the T-Rex. Did you see my little joke about the T-Rex this morning? I saw that the other day, and I thought, we're using the dinosaurs this week, and that joke just made me laugh. So it was kind of dumb, but funny. All right, this one has a lot of pieces, and we're going to kind of build a little scene with this card. So my card base is thick basic white, 5.5 by 8.5, and we'll fold that in half. And then I brought in the Flirty Flamingo again, just to kind of balance out the Melon Mambo. So this is actually a piece of the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. Here's the toadstools on the other side. But this piece is more of a neutral. I think it's gray granite, and you can use it with anything. And this is 3 3/4 by 5, and then the Flirty Flamingo is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And we are going to layer those together and then add them to the card all flat. Oh, thank you, Joan. She said the card is so cute. I'm glad you like it. I don't know if you can make something that's not cute with these dinosaurs, to be honest. Okay, and then I have another piece of the Designer Series paper. I think this stripe is so fun. It's the other side of the polka dots. That's probably my favorite pattern in that pack of paper. And this piece is 2 inches by 4 1/4, and I'm just going to make a band across the middle. All right, then we have a piece of white that is 3 by 4, and a piece of Melon Mambo that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. I did 1/8 of an inch on this card. So we are going to make the little grass here at the bottom. I also have a piece of Granny Apple Green. This one's 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. Now, we used to have fringe scissors a long time ago, so if you still have some fringe scissors, you can use those to cut your grass, but regular scissors or your paper snips work just fine. And I am just cutting little strips of grass here. This is just kind of a fun texture piece to add to your card. And those fringe scissors, or you know what I should have used, we have that die in the, well, maybe we don't anymore. It might be retired. Remember the beautiful balloons? I think that's what they were called. Maybe it did retire. And it had a fringe die in it. So if you have that, you could use that also. So there's our grass, and you can just kind of rough it up a little bit. Bend it, curl it with your fingers. Give it more texture. And then we're going to add a little bit of Granny Apple Green ink. And I'm going to see if I have a scrap paper here. I do. I don't want to, you can get ink on your glass mat, and that is great, but I don't want to get it on my other pieces of my card. So I'm using a blending brush in my Granny Apple Green ink, and we're just going to add a little bit to the bottom here. And I just want to go up a little bit. I'm not worrying too much about the bottom because that's where our cardstock piece is going to go, but I just want a little bit of color above that. And then there's a little grass stamp, and we are just going to stamp some grass as well in Granny Apple Green ink. The bee speech die, we're going to talk about that in a second. I actually used the punch today, and there's a reason for that. All right, let's see. Oh, I didn't go quite high enough. We'll do another one right there. Let's see, maybe one more right there. Okay, that looks a little funny, but I'll just add some more in, and then it won't look so funny, I think. Like that, maybe. Okay, good enough. All right. I have another piece of white here to stamp my dinosaur. I think I'm done with the green. All right, so let's attach the grass. You could use glue for this too. My Stampin' Seal caught a little bit on the pieces of grass that I cut, but if you're careful, you can use your seal. And then you can rough it up a little bit more here. Okay, then we are going to stamp our T-Rex, again in the Memento Black, so that we can color him. And I thought I would use the Granny Apple Green because that is the green in the paper. So again, I'm starting with the dark. And really, some of these areas are so tiny, I think Stampin' Right marker would work just fine. If you were to pick out your two sets, and a lot of the colors I'm using today are in the brights and the subtles. So those might be the two that I would go with. I don't know. I know for sure, I know I said this another time, but I would for sure get the set of brights markers. And after that, I would have a hard time picking. But the subtles have a lot of good colors too. The Fresh Freesia's in there. Pool Party, which is a color I use a lot. What else is in the subtles? Well, I'm going to use Lemon Lolly for his toes here. So Lemon Lolly is in the subtles also. Highland Heather, another purple. I love purple, so lots of good colors. I mean, if we start talking about the other color families, I could tell you lots of colors I like in those two, though. So, all right, and then our Granny Apple Green. Now, this one I probably would usually switch to the brush tip for some of this because there's more area to color, but my brush tip is a little bent, so I guess there is lots of little things to go in between, though, so it's not terrible to use the pen tip end. His little arms, I can't clap. I mean, T-Rexes are fierce and scary, but this one is super cute, and he looks like he would be very friendly, so this kind of dinosaur is okay. So I am the school librarian at my kids' school, and we have a whole section of like animal books, and there's a bunch of dinosaur ones, and there are some kids that check out dinosaur books every week. They love dinosaurs. All right, and I'm just going back over some of those areas to help the color blend a little bit more and add extra layers of color. And you can go back and add as much or as little as you want. Oh, and I forgot his belly here. Okay, then we are going to use, I think I did light flirty flamingo for a few of the dots here. And then I did, I think, light melon mambo for the other spots. I literally just made this card an hour ago, so you would think I would remember, but my brain didn't hold on to that information. Okay, and then I'm using my dark flirty flamingo for his little spikes. I can't imagine T-Rexes actually had pink spikes and pink spots, but in paper crafting, anything is possible. All right, and then I thought that his little fingernails just needed a little bit of yellow, so I pulled out my light lemon lolly, but any yellow would work. Or if you think his fingernails could be a different color, you could color them a different color. Okay, I am going to die cut him, and there is, of course, also a die for all the dinosaurs in the stamp set. So we'll pull that out. Line him up. So you want to not really see a white edge around it. The die pretty much lines up around your stamped edge. I guess you can't see that in my screen, sorry. But you want it to pretty much line up around the edge of and not see the white. When it die cuts, you will see a white edge. But if you are lined up around him, then you'll get a nice little die cut dinosaur. Okay, now we're going to finish building our scene. Our sentiment is I love you, so I stamped a few of the little hearts in the stamp set, and I used my Flirty Flamingo ink. And I'm just going to stamp a few. I have not attached him yet. I suppose I could. But just to kind of see where he is going to be placed. And then we'll do our hearts. Okay, I will attach him. I could have done that first, I guess. And you can use dimensionals if you want. I just did him flat because I'm doing the other piece with dimensionals. All right, then this gets adhered to our Melon Mambo piece. And then this piece we will add with dimensionals. Okay, just like that, you can center it. All right, now we have to finish with our sentiment, which is going to be the I love you. So I was inspired by a couple of things for this card. I think I'm going to put this one in the TGIF challenges this week because they had an inspiration challenge and it had a speech bubble. It had some pink and gray, and then I also thought this punch was perfect to use. So I think Joan said she saw the bee speech die. There is a die set. We're going to be using that bundle next week, actually. But today I'm using the punch. And this was a choice for Sale-a-bration that was added at the beginning of February. And it is free with a $60 purchase. So it goes with a stamp set that we've had for a while. I think it's called Meant to Be. And so I love this punch because not only does it have this, which is actually the bee body if you have the stamp set, but it also looks like a speech bubble. And then it has two different sizes of hearts, which are actually the bee wings also. So it's a really good punch because it goes with that stamp set, but it also can be used for other things, and it does not have to be just with the bees. Now, hopefully I get to go live next week. So everyone say some prayers. Did I tell you that? I did my team video earlier, and I feel like I told them some of this, but maybe I told you. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. So I think I told you my husband is trying to get out of going into his office. So anyways, I don't know if I will be able to go live next week if he ends up working from home. But hopefully he is working in his office, and then I can show you some things with the new bee bundle that includes dies. They are just awesome. And we had a video in our demonstrator group last week, I think, and they showed the bees are actually different sizes. So the one that goes with this punch is like the medium size bee, and then in the new bundle there's one that's a little larger, whoops, and one that's a little smaller. So they were like, it's the mama bee and the baby bee and the daddy bee, which I thought was super cute. So if I don't get to go live, I will definitely punch and stamp some so that you can see the difference. But they are all cute, and I love the bees. But if you want the punch, you can get it as a Sale-a-bration reward through Friday if you want. Okay, let's heat this up. So you're going to hear the noise of my heat tool for just a minute, so hang tight. Okay, let's add that little speech bubble to our card. Like that. And then I added a few of the white sequins. Let me see where I stuck those over here. I have been putting things all over. And where did I set the sequins? Oh, underneath the card. That's a good hiding place. Someone would have told me that if I didn't find them, right? And I used some of the pink ones, the light pink ones too. So again, these are called purple adhesive back sequins, but they are not all purple. They're pink and white and purple, and I like all the colors. And they go really well with this paper. So I'm just sprinkling some on all around my dinosaur. And then I thought it would be fun to use our Fresh Freesia ribbon, but we're going to color it with our Melon Mambo Stampin' Blends marker to match our card a little bit better. Because I didn't use any patterns of the designer series. Well, I guess there's a tiny bit of Fresh Freesia in there. So you could leave it Fresh Freesia if you want. But I like making it other colors. So I just tied my bow with the ribbon just so I see how much ribbon I need. And then I'm going to pull that scrap paper back in. And I'm going to use my dark Melon Mambo Stampin' Blends marker to color this. Now, you've seen me color this with Petunia Pop. I did a card not on a video, but I did one that I colored at Blueberry Blush. Can't talk today. Blueberry Bushel. That one was it's really pretty in Blueberry Bushel. Pretty much any darker, like cool color would work for this ribbon. I'm trying to think if I have done it in any other colors. I know Petunia Pop I did a bunch of cards with, but it's really easy to color. Okay, I'm going to get ink all over my fingers now because I didn't let it dry too much, but that's okay. Now we'll just have pink fingers for the rest of the day. There are worse things, right? Okay, so I'm trying to make my bow even. I mean, we can trim the edges, but the bow part should be even. And I debated about where to put the bow on this card. I really wanted a bow. Just like, should I put it in the corner? Should I put it up there? Finally, I decided along the bottom. Looked good. But if you like a different spot for your bow better, use your creative license and put it in a different spot. Okay, so there is our second card for today. All right, let's tuck that one in an envelope too for one lucky winner. And now we're going to move on to the third card. And like I said, I didn't quite finish this one. So here is the start of it. And I think I know how I'm going to finish it, but we'll find out together. I was trying to get, I need to get my Christmas card club kits out the door, and I was finishing packing up those this morning, and it's like, oh, I need to get going on my cards for my video, because usually I do it on Thursday, not on Wednesday, and I do my team video Wednesday mornings too, so it's been a busy day. All right, I've got a piece of fresh freesia here for the card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and we'll fold it in half. Now, I don't know if the toadstools go with dinosaurs, but they can, excuse me, because the dinosaurs lived a long time ago, and I'm sure there were toadstools, right? Somewhere. Maybe they ate them, maybe they stepped on them, but I think it's cute paper, so we're going to use it with the dinosaurs. This piece is 3 by 4, and we're going to put it on the left side of our card base. Then I have another piece of fresh freesia that is 3.25 by 4.25. And this is a piece of basic white that is 3 by 4. Now this one I embossed with the Starstruck embossing folder. This is one that is a regular size, and it is free with a $60 purchase during Sale-a-bration. So we have another Sale-a-bration reward that you can choose from here. I've pointed this out to you before, but it looks like flowers until you look close, and then you notice there are stars in the centers, which is really, really cute. And I have been using this for backgrounds a lot. It's good for birthday cards. I feel like stars are like a birthday thing sometimes. Congratulations. It's just a nice background. Okay. Let me see what I did. I tied the ribbon around this before I attached it to the card. So let's do that so we don't forget. Oh, Sharon says they are cute. Thank you, Sharon. I don't know if you're talking about the cards or the dinosaurs, but if it's the dinosaurs, I agree. They are so cute. And if it's the cards, then thank you. It is fun to create when you have such cute products to do it with. I'm hoping tomorrow that my husband does have to go into the office, and then I am planning to have a big designing day because I need to design my card clubs for March. I need to work ahead a little bit for when my kids are on spring break. And so tomorrow I'm hoping is going to be a big design day. Oh, and maybe I shouldn't spill this surprise yet, but I am planning to do a surprise box with the Darling Dinos Bundle. So I did a surprise box, or a mystery box, whatever you want to call it. I did one last summer with the Friendly Fins bundle, and it was a lot of fun, and I haven't had the chance to do another mystery box. So what it is I'm using the Darling Dinos Bundle, and then in the other one I did 5 projects, I think, but they're a surprise. I don't show a sneak peek of the projects at all, but your box includes product that you use on your cards. You can add the bundle on if you want, and you make, I think some of them are going to be fun fold cards this time. Maybe I shouldn't tell you that either. That takes away some of the surprise and the mystery. But I included other fun little surprises in the box too. So make sure you're on my email list because I will let them know about it first. And hopefully tomorrow I will get to designing some of those. But that'll be a lot of fun. So if you like this bundle, watch for that coming soon. Okay, this one we're going to use the Stegosaurus. And we are going to stamp him in Memento Black ink again so we can color him. Now, I was not completely happy with how he looked when I colored him the first time, so I might change it a little bit this time. But I knew I wanted him to be purple to match our purple card, so I'm going to start with Fresh Freesia, and that is going to be the main color of his body, or her body. And I'm starting with the dark again. Now, I think the Fresh Freesia ones, there's not as much as some of our Stampin' blends. There's a big difference between the dark and the light shades. Fresh Freesia is one of those colors where it's not a huge difference. So I am going to try and add some extra layers of color with my light to kind of give more variation. Because you'll see when I get out the light marker, I don't think there is a ton of difference between the dark and the light, but that's just me. Go around his spots. Now on the first time I colored it, I did the spots in dark granny apple green, but I think we're going to do light or pick a pink instead. Do you think so I did pink for his horns, and then I did green for the spots, but I didn't really like, here I should show you this, and then you can vote. Okay, so I colored dark granny apple green, but I don't really like that. So let me know in the comments, do you think I should switch those spots to pink, or should I just use the light granny apple green? Oh, yes, Laura says she got the Friendly Fins mystery box. Yes, you did, Laura. Did you like it? I had a lot of fun putting those together because I included some extra little things in there, like not necessarily stamping things, but just fun little gifts. They were fun to put together, and I was like, I haven't done one of those since summer, and it's getting close to summer again. So, well, I mean, not super close. I guess here in Arizona, I think that way because now we're getting to have 80-degree days again, and it's like, oh yeah, summer's coming. Not so much in other parts of the country, probably. It's been super cold. I know my nieces and nephews that live in Minnesota, they had a couple days off of school last week, I think it was, because it was too cold. That would never happen here. And someone we know here went ice fishing, and the kids were like, where do you go ice fishing? Well, he had to go to Wisconsin to go ice fishing. There's no such thing as ice fishing in Arizona. But I will take my 80-degree days. It has been nice out. Enjoy it while it lasts before it's 110. Those of you who live here know what I'm talking about. It'll be here before we know it, but we'll enjoy these nice warm days before it gets too stinking hot. 54 and sunny. Oh, where I spent a little bit of my childhood near Portland. And I think it was fairly mild there. Like, I don't remember it snowing really when we lived there, but that was many, many, many years ago. All right, so I can see Joan's weather, but I don't know if I was not paying attention if you guys voted on the color. Well, I'm going to color his horns, and if anyone else has an opinion on what color his spots should be, you let me know. All right, so I did light flirty flamingo for the horns here, and then I'm just going to go over these lines with the dark. Sorry, I've got a tickle. Everything is starting to bloom here, and so it is giving me a little bit of congestion, and then, you know, it drains and makes you cough. Okay. All right, I don't know. Maybe I'll see if I can see any other comments. Sometimes, I don't know. Nope, it's not letting me see any other ones. So I think I'm going to go with the light granny apple green. And I hope you guys like it. That's a little better than the dark, I think. I don't know. You could pick whatever color you want to color them when you are doing it. And then I'm going to use the light lemon lolly again for the little, I think those are toenails. I don't know. You could do pink on those too. On the first card, I just did them pink. But all right, I think I like the light a lot better. What do you think? Okay, now it's telling me I have one new comment. Well, yeah, because I tried to scroll. All right, pumpkin pie. Actually, you know what? That is a good idea, Joan. I didn't have my pumpkin pie markers out, but you're right. I think that would look nice. So you use whatever colors you want to use. All right, so I don't know if I said this, but I stamped him on a circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. And so I wanted to use a banner from the same die set, the Stylish Shapes, to do the sentiment. And I decided to do it in Fresh Freesia. And the You're the Best fits in that little banner. So we are going to emboss again in our white embossing powder. I suppose I could use a different color, but I just like how white pops off of colored cardstock. So, oops, here's You're the Best. I kind of bent that up, didn't I? That is okay. And now we're getting to the part of the card that I did not finish. You don't have the bundle, you're out of money. I know, Joan, it is the end of Sale-a-bration, and I kind of feel the same way. I should not spend any more money on stamping this month, although I want to. I have a very long wish list. But don't we all? There are a lot of online exclusives coming in March that I really like, and I've just gotten a few things. But my wish list is long, and it's like, should I buy a few more to get my Sale-a-bration rewards, or should I should probably wait, but we'll see. Too bad we can't grow money trees that would fund our crafting supplies, right? Okay, here comes the heat tool, so hang tight for a minute. Having trouble seeing in this light whether it is turning shiny or not. Okay. I think we are going to put him on with some dimensionals, and then we will have to decide exactly where that sentiment is going to go. And of course we will have to finish off with some of our sequins. I've definitely stacked up on the sequins, because like I said, they were my favorite reward this time. I don't know. I guess maybe we could go over his toes. Maybe those should be peeking out a little bit. There we go. I think like that. And I really did bend that up good, but hopefully this will help it. And you know what? I should put... So this circle is up with dimensional. So I'm going to put one on this side so that we're nice and even. There we go. I think that looks all right. And then I'm pretty sure these sequins are Fresh Freesia. But even if they are not, they look like they're close enough and they match. I think they are Fresh Freesia. Okay, so there is our third card. All right. That one I will tuck in an envelope to send to somebody too, but I don't have my sample finished of that one, so we'll leave him here. These are our 3 cards this week. I hope that you really like them as much as I do. These dinosaurs are so cute, and I love using all these Sale-a-bration things just one more time. So remember, if you want the card kit this week, shop now through Tuesday, but you can only get Sale-a-bration rewards through Friday. I will put a shopping link in the description of the video. Please use that if you want to take advantage. You need to spend more than $40 before tax and shipping to get the card kit. And if you spend more than $50, I will double the cards. Sale-a-bration rewards start at $60. So for every $60 you spend, you get to pick a Sale-a-bration reward. Joan says number 3 is her favorite. Well, thank you, Joan, because I was not sure about that one, but I am glad you like it. One of the first 2 is my favorite. I can't decide. I really liked this one when I made it the other day, but this one was really fun too, so it's hard to choose. The dinosaurs are just cute. I will also put links in the description for joining my email list. Then you'll be the first to know about that Darling Dinos mystery box. I will put a link for the starter kit in case you are interested in taking advantage of that special. And remember, Sale-a-bration ends Friday, so you do not have too much time left to take advantage of those rewards. Don't be sad on Saturday that Sale-a-bration is over and you missed out. And I will keep you posted on next week. I hope I will be able to join you live again. I'm planning for Thursday, my regular day, but I will let you know. I hope you all have a great week. Thank you for joining me and watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.